Verses 2 through 7, reasons not to fear is knowing that the Lord is with you and I. And so in verse 2, we see that trials are going to happen and that trials will also vary. So these trials and difficulties in our lives, they will happen and they're going to vary based upon what they are and their severity. They will happen, they will do that. And we also see that God's promise that in all of these trials and in all these difficulties, that God is with his people. And so because of this, because the Lord is with us in our trials and in our difficulties, we should turn to him. We should not ignore his character. We should not ignore his call. And when we're going through these trials, also through our good times, we should not be seeking after the character and the calling and the luring of something that is not God's character. Because as we go through different things, whether it be good times or bad times, and if we go after things that are not according to God's character and according to his calling out to us, we are turning aside and turning away from him as he is walking with us. This would be like a child as they're walking with their parent along the beach. You know, we're coming to an end of summer, walking with our parent, and there's a rip current or a tide or whatever it is, something very dangerous out in the ocean or out in the lake or overlooking a cliff, and the child goes and runs totally after it. That what that is and the danger there, that is completely opposite that the parent has and intends for their child. But the child does not listen to the voice or the character of their parent and instead runs and beelines and refuses to turn back. And so we shouldn't be surprised if our parent comes up and tackles us very rapidly so that we do not go into a rip current, so that we do not go into a pack of sharks, or so that we do not go off a cliff, or so that we don't go maybe into something within a lake, whether it be, maybe if you've been visiting possibly the southern portions of United States with alligators and places that have water moccasins and stuff, and you know that the water is dangerous, you go and you tackle your kid because you know those little bumps and bruises are better than death and better than permanent separation from you. And so this is the same thing that the Lord does. The Lord does allow, when we are going away from him, the Lord does allow difficulties so that we will turn back to him.